Hi, my name is Dave, and today we're going to be going over the installation of the Midwest Industries Gen 2 Universal Handguard for your AK style rifle. The Universal Handguard offers M-LOK or Key-Mod mounting options, QD sockets, and a top cover that either features Picatinny or different optic mounting options. The handguard is made in the United States of 6061 T6 aluminum and hardcoat anodized. This is a great upgrade to your rifle that provides an ergonomic and modular upgrade for the AK platform. The handguard is compatible with most AK platforms on the market, including milled or stamped receivers. However, the barrel diameter must be 0.7 inches under the lower handguard, the lower furniture length must be 6 inches not counting mounting surfaces, and the upper gas tube furniture length of 4 inches. Installation of the handguard is pretty straightforward and usually just takes a few minutes. However, if any part of this process or video doesn't make sense to you, or you feel overwhelmed, don't hesitate to seek the assistance of a qualified gunsmith or armorer for installation. Before we get into the installation, let's go over the required tools and supplies needed to complete this process. You will need the included hex keys, or if you prefer to use a bit and driver system, you can choose that as well. You will also need an inch-pound torque driver capable of tightening to 30 and 60 inch-pounds. You will also need a small file or sanding block to fit the anti-rotation block, and you will also need some denatured alcohol or similar degreasing agent, and some small patches or rags, and a pipe cleaner to degrease all of the hardware and threaded surfaces. Additionally, you may also need the appropriate tools to remove your existing handguard. Due to the variety of handguards and furniture on the market, it may be best to contact the manufacturer of your rifle or handguard for further information. We will now put a list of all the required tools and supplies on the screen. Feel free to pause the video if you would like to review the list or if you'd like to take any notes. Let's go over the parts that are included so you know where they fit in the installation process. In the package, you will find the lower portion of the handguard, the top section of the handguard, the clamp piece, and the anti-rotation block. You will also find the following hardware: 4 socket head cap screws, 4 flat head cap screws, 2 long set screws, and 1 short set screw. Now is a good time to degrease all of the hardware and threaded portion of the assembly. You can use your denatured alcohol and a small patch or rag or pipe cleaner to degrease all of these surfaces. Repeat for all of the screws and all of the threaded surfaces on the handguard. Degreasing the hardware helps to ensure that the thread locker can adhere properly. The first step when working with any firearm is to make sure that your work surface is clear of any ammunition and your firearm is unloaded. Begin by removing the magazine if one is present. Pull the charging handle to the rear and look in the magwell, loading area, and chamber to verify that the firearm is unloaded. After we've verified that the firearm is unloaded, we can now begin our field disassembly procedures. You will need to field disassemble the rifle, removing the dust cover, bolt and carrier, piston components, and existing handguard or furniture. Because of the various manufacturers and handguard or furniture options, you may need to consult with the manufacturer or owner's manual that came with your rifle or furniture. Now we're ready to fit the anti-rotation piece into the receiver. You will see that the rounded corners here will match the rounded corners of the receiver. These are purposely oversized and it will require some fitting. You can test fit, and you can see that we do need to remove a small amount of material from each side. We're going to remove material from both sides of the anti-rotation block evenly with some sandpaper or a file. Remember, go slow. You can always remove additional material, but you can't add it back on. Don't worry, if you mess up, additional replacement anti-rotation pieces are available from Midwest Industries webpage. Remove a small amount of material from both sides and keep checking your work. This may take a few minutes, and again, go slow, take your time. Now we have a nice snug fit of the anti-rotation block in the receiver. Remove it, and we can begin the rest of the installation process. Insert the anti-rotation block into the bottom portion of the handguard as shown. Again, the rounded corners of the anti-rotation block will match that of the bottom portion of the handguard. We can now apply a small amount of the included thread locker on the short set screw and insert the set screw into the bottom portion of the handguard and tighten until snug. Do not over tighten. Now we can set the lower handguard onto the barrel and sliding it rear to seat the anti-rotation block fully into the receiver. We're now ready to install the clamp. Note that the serrated surfaces are going to mate to the barrel. Once the clamp is in place, we can now apply a small amount of the included thread locking compound on each of the socket head cap screws and install and tighten the socket head cap screws into the 4 threaded receptacles of the clamp. Repeat for all of the screws, and I recommend going in an alternating star pattern. Again, just snug down. Remember to tighten evenly so the clamping surface lowers down straight and level onto the barrel. Verify that the clamp is level and tightened evenly onto the barrel before you apply your final torque. If you need to make any adjustments, you can go ahead and loosen certain screws and tighten the opposing screws. Once the clamp is tightened evenly, we can now apply our final torque with our inch-pound torque driver set to 60 inch-pounds. Now we can slide the handguard cap back into position and secure it. Now we're ready to reinstall the gas tube. Make sure you have the bare gas tube. If you have any components left over, they will need to be removed. Now we can apply a small amount of the included thread locking compound on each of the long set screws. We can now install a set screw on each side of the clamp so that it is just making contact with the gas tube. Repeat for the other screw. Again, do not over tighten. Just tighten the set screws until they just make contact with the gas tube. If you have an optic specific top cover, now would be the time to install that optic onto the top cover. Contact the manufacturer of your sight or optic for torque and thread locker specifications. Do not over tighten those screws as you could damage your sight. Now we're ready to install the top cover. Simply slide it over the top, and we're going to align the tabs of the lower portion to the holes of the top portion. Using the remaining flathead screws, we can install and tighten the screws in each of the 4 positions. Use of thread locker is not recommended for these screws. Now you can apply your final torque to each of the 4 flathead screws by setting your inch-pound torque driver to 30 inch-pounds. Repeat for all of the screws. You can now reassemble your rifle. Again, if you have any questions on how to perform this, consult with the manufacturer or owner's manual of your rifle. You can now perform your function checks of the rifle to make sure it is functioning properly and check for a secure installation. You should not feel any play or movement of the handguard. Let the thread locking compound cure for 12 hours before firing. We hope you found this video helpful for the installation of your new handguard for your AK style rifle. If you have any questions or don't feel comfortable performing the installation of this part, again, don't hesitate to seek the assistance of a qualified gunsmith or armorer to assist you. Additional technical support is also available by contacting Midwest Industries through the webpage or via telephone. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.